You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, I've got your 2-week spoilers for December 8th through the 19th. We're going to talk about Deacon's Dilemma, Douglas being back, and wedding thrills and chills. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following, hit that subscribe button. Let's dive right in. On Monday, December 8th, we've got Carter trying to see Eric's point of view. Carter may actually push back a little bit against Ridge and stick up for Eric. And I'm sure part of what may sway him on that is the fact that Daphne finds them pushing Eric out of Forrester Creations very distasteful to her. This is not something that's acceptable in French culture, and she feels like it's very disrespectful. Eric gets increasingly emotional as Ridge refuses to back down on Monday. And I think Eric's probably going to blow up on Ridge. And of course, Donna is right there with him. And she's also frustrated with what is happening to her husband. So while they're in the CEO office continuing this confrontation from last week, Eric is telling Ridge that he's not listening, but he insists he's listening to everything Eric says. He just does not agree with him. And then Ridge's father declares he won't be put out to pasture. So Eric and Donna are going to exit this conversation quite upset. And we're back to Ridge thinking he knows best for his dad. Tuesday, December 9th, Deacon tells Sheila, hey, guess what? You are definitely not invited to Hope and Liam's wedding. And of course, Sheila was just telling Deke last week how excited she was to be going to the wedding and, her fantasies about being accepted by the family. And Deke knew at the time that she was talking crazy. So Sheila is going to be hurt. She's going to be frustrated. She's going to want to know why Deacon didn't fight harder for her to be his +1. But honestly, she should have been expecting this. Brooke asked Ridge if he regrets pushing retirement on Eric. I'm betting he doesn't. I fully expect Ridge to justify it and say, Dad doesn't know what's best for him. He needs to enjoy his golden years. His health can't take it. Ridge is in that position like he always is, where he's so sure that he is the wisest person in the room and that he knows better than everybody. I found it very frustrating that Steffy was standing there while Ridge was just spewing all this BS about his dad, and Steffy didn't step in and defend her granddad. And I mentioned this before, but Eric and Steffy together own 75% of the company. They each have, 37.5%. And I believe Ridge has 20% and Thomas has 5%, but I think that Ridge has been voting Thomas's 5% when it came to it. But the bottom line is that Eric can't stop what Ridge is doing unless Steffy sided with him. So that's very problematic. So Hope and Liam are also talking about Eric's forced retirement. And of course, they're also talking about their wedding because they are getting married this week. And I think Hope is worried about Eric. She's known him her whole life. He's been very important in her life. But I'm also curious to see, where Liam and Hope land on this in terms of their opinion, because she may not like what Ridge is doing to Eric, because she may also feel like Ridge is doing the same thing to her Aunt Katie and pushing them out the door. And Ridge being like, I know what's best. Now, Ridge insists he's not pushing Katie out the door, but by replacing her with an external PR firm, that's problematic. On Wednesday, December 10th, Hope and Liam's wedding event kicks off. It's going to last for 3 episodes, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Deacon is there without a +1 and doing father of the bride duties, while his wife, Sheila, is off sulking elsewhere. Beth is going to welcome the guests to the wedding of the year, which I tend to agree it is, since the last wedding was Brooke and Ridge, which took place in the CEO office with only, a stapler and a sketchbook as the witnesses. Didn't even seem official. No marriage license, no nothing. Henry Joseph Samiri is back for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday episodes as Douglas. He has returned from Paris for his mom Hope's wedding. And if you remember, The last time she and Liam got married, actually Douglas officiated at the little cabin ceremony. So that's just a tidbit for anybody complaining that Beth is the officiant, because 5 years ago, Douglas did the honors. So it's kind of her turn. Plus, Kelly Spencer is also on hand for her dad, Liam's wedding. Meanwhile, a very upset Sheila heads over to the hospital uninvited to barge into Taylor's office to complain about being banned from the event. And Sheila gets a warning from Taylor that she cannot go over there and crash Liam and Hope's wedding. However, Sheila may not listen. So Taylor tells Sheila that crashing the wedding would be crazy. Of course, she knows Hope and Liam would be upset about it. And Sheila loses her temper and demands to know if Taylor thinks she's crazy. I mean, you know, crazy's better than deliberately evil, right? Because she's one or the other or both. Hope and all the Logan ladies are getting ready for the ceremony together. So we could also see Thomas either before the wedding or after. He likely delivered Douglas to LA for the big event, and we do know Matt Atkinson was filming, so we'll wait and see if he shows up. Thursday, December 11th, Ridge tells Eric that all of his success is due to his dad. I'm sure Ridge is pandering at this point, trying to make Eric see how much he respects him, even though he's disrespectfully forcing him to retire, saying it's for his health. Hope walks down the aisle. She is looking forward to the future. I'm sure she's thrilled that Douglas is there. Deacon is so proud to walk his daughter down the aisle. This is a dream come true moment for him, and he was not going to let Sheila's band ruin the day for him. Brooke and Bill give speeches before Hope and Liam exchange their vows and rings in a gorgeous ceremony. Taylor tries to tell Sheila that she cannot be her friend because Deacon is her patient. I'm sure there's plenty of other reasons also, like the fact that Sheila shot Taylor and she was presumed dead for several years. Friday, December 12th, Liam and Hope's wedding reception begins. Everybody's celebrating the newlyweds. We'll see if Sheila busts in and cake gets thrown. December 15th through the 19th, we've got Katie making a big decision about her future. Things are tense between Deacon and Sheila. She remains hurt that Deacon didn't push to get her invited to the wedding, but this was Hope Big day, not Sheila's. And if she did show up and crash, I'm sure Deacon's going to be really mad at her. Look for that week for him to have another session with Taylor. He's really leaning on her, and I'm sure Deacon needs to talk about Sheila's outrage in a therapy session. Deacon's marriage may be even more fragile after this event, and this could push him closer to Taylor. Eric and Ridge are struggling to get through to each other, and Eric is considering his options. Douglas is gone by Monday. Henry Samiri was only back for 3 episodes. And we know that Matt Atkinson filmed a short arc too, but we'll have to wait till the following week to see if that was an overlap or if Thomas is coming back closer to Christmas. Daphne may tell Carter she's uncomfortable with what Ridge did to Eric, and that may affect her professional opinion of continuing forward with Forrester Creations, and Liam and Hope are excited for their future.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.